How's it going, everybody? I'm back again for another One Piece chapter review. We got 11:43 to talk about today. We've got a few things to talk about today. Don't have my glasses because I don't know. I think I left them in the shower somewhere. So we're just shooting the shit straight without the glasses. So apologies for the eye. Got a bit of a wonky eye, but what can you do? um, let's get straight into it. So Loki, man, this stuff is crazy, right? I don't think you realized, right? I don't know if anyone's talking about this, but the beginning of this chapter, right, where they talk about the Briar Man talks about how the more you love something, the more damage the thorns do to people. This can go one of two ways for Loki, and this is a great setup because it could go right. He's the only one who can save Elbath, or when he goes to save one of the kids or tries to save one of the kids, he gets completely obliterated. Like, let's say he's able to recover somehow ahead of time. As we saw, they said it would take months to recover, right? And they're like, damn. And then he goes straight away to try and save the kids. But the second he touches them, he like gets absolutely obliterated, like, you know? And it's like, damn. And everyone knows the powers at that stage. And they're like, geez, how much does he love these kids, you know? How much does he love the people of Elbath? I think that is the way to go with that and to set up Loki as like a caring person. You could go that way, or because he couldn't give a shit about anyone, he could save the kids, no problem. Which I think would be fun and interesting. I'd love to see that actually. It'd be really interesting to see that with him just being like, I don't care, but I'm gonna help anyway. And then so he's able to save the kids, no problem, because he couldn't give a rat's, you know? That's something that would be really cool to see personally. I think I'd be really excited for that. But other than that, we got a lot of stuff on Loki today as well. I'm going to just go around. I'll talk about the Gods Knights at some stage separately because I have my opinions on all the nightmare worlds and all that nightmare stuff going on. Also, I do think the librarian's evil. She has to be evil, man. There's no way she's not. But I don't really have anything to say about that besides that. There's not too much to go on. But going back to Loki, so we basically get Luffy. You know, Luffy is basically right again. I like how Luffy is like going against the grain and like he's kind of not doing the right thing, I guess, which will be the right thing at the end of the day. But you know, Harden is not like listening to him immediately. He's like, I don't know, man, and there's a bit of conflict there, you know, and that's exactly what Luffy wants out of his subordinates. He doesn't want people like to blindly obey him. So I like that about it, right? It's like he's perfect for Luffy that way. Um, I will say the multi-month long recovery is crazy. That could mean a few things. I think this is a perfect opportunity for Chopper or Law to come back. If Law comes back and help and heals Loki somehow very quickly, that's a way to work it. But it's also a potential way to have Loki out of the story for a while, you know, combatively. And he just spends all of Elbath being an exposition dump, right? Just talking, having conversations with people because he can't fight. And then it won't be till the final arc or the final fight where we'll see Loki's true capabilities, because we see in the mural that like someone who looks like Loki is there. So it'd be interesting to see if like Oda just doesn't let Loki fight this arc. It'd be disappointing, but we could set up for other villains. You know, you could have Big Mom come back, you could have Enel come back, you could have a load of things happen. In fact, it would make more sense for it to be Enel at that stage. If Loki's out of commission and Loki can't be a villain or be some sort of adversary, it'd be interesting to have Enel come back because, again, lightning and fire damages Elbath more aggressively because of the amount of trees and stuff. So it's really, really interesting. I'm very excited to see. Obviously, I'm a big Enel guy, right? I love Skypiea. Even when I first watched it, I loved Skypiea. And then when I watched it in the dub, man, Enel's, I think Enel's done by the same guy who does Sebastian in the Black Butler dub. And like that stuff, that voice is just like top tier. You know what I mean? It's like if a character, what was it? Garling just officially got is modern now. So you know when I start when the dub becomes available in Europe, and I start watching that shit, bro, it's gonna go crazy. Because like I watched the Skypiea dub when I was rewatching it, but it's not really available on Crunchyroll, and Funimation doesn't exist anymore in Europe. So it's kind of a bit of a you have to buy it on Microsoft Store. Like how backwards is that? Like come on, if it's available in dub in America, why is it not available in a dub in Europe? Like we speak the same fucking language, just 2 or 3 words change. It doesn't fucking matter. You know what? I have my whole thing. I'm not gonna go over languages real quick. But it's the same thing with like the Chicago shows, Chicago PD, Chicago Fire. Like they're literally, it's not like you have to dub them at all. Like they're English, bro. Come on, please bring them over day and date. Like I swear to God, I could go. I could make a whole video on the Chicago how annoying the release schedule for Chicago PD is. Oh man, damn, I don't know, man. I could go on for day. I could go on for days about that. Anyway, back to back to One Piece. Yeah. So like, Garling is gonna be the go because he's like voiced by Madara now, so he's gonna go crazy. But it's the same thing, like certain characters I have an attachment to because of the voice, and it's the same with the sub as well. That's what I love about the sub, which is why I think it's really difficult for people to watch the dub, is because the sub cast for the Straw Hats is so strong. And I think but the dub cast for the Straw Hats is really strong, but it's associated with other characters, Like when I hear Usopp, I don't think of Usopp, I think of Krillin, or when I hear Zoro. Actually, no. Zoro's slightly different. I don't know why. Maybe it's because they're similar characters, but Usopp and Krillin are quite different, so it just feels like Krillin's trying to be Usopp. I think maybe because Zoro and Vegeta are similar characters, it doesn't cross over as much. But I don't know. Anyway, what was I saying? I was talking about, yeah, Loki being like exposition and not being able to fight leads to more potential, interesting fights. Obviously, you got the God Knight showing up. I'm interested to see what happens with the God Knights, because going back to them now, they have a lot of character. They feel very quirky. I like that, but they still feel threatening. Do you know what I mean? I'm not as you know, like I don't like the whole pantsless sort of design for Gunko or for any of the Egghead characters. I think it's a bit dumb. I don't know. I'm not the biggest fan of it. You could have gone for a really cool like military outfit or some sort of really cool armor or something sick. But it kind of just looks dumb. It looks out of place. I don't know. Again, that's just me personally. I'm not the biggest fan of it, but it feels like she is definitely going to be a big character in the upcoming arcs. And a lot of I know there's a big theory about her being like a revolutionary because of the goggles. That would be interesting. It would, but man, I wish it was someone else. I really do. No, maybe my opinion will change over time because it is just a design. My opinions on designs can change because I get used to it or whatever. I just don't like the pantsless design. I really don't. I just think it looks dumb to me, right? It's like Gecko it's like Gecko Moria, it just looks a bit dumb, But what can you do, right? It looks like they're gonna be a main character, and like they fear Nika, which is interesting. I don't know what that's about, but I like. Here, I'm just gonna mute my fucking phone. Jesus Christ, I'm all over the place today. You can tell I took a 2-week break off this. Forgot to mute my phone. Oh Jesus. The Motorola, just be real with this one. What was I saying? Yeah, so like I can tell there's gonna be stuff going on. I actually like the dragon guy the most, even out of Charlotte or Shamrock. Shamrock I feel is gonna be really cool, but at the same time, I don't know, man. I don't want him to kill Shanks and not have the Shanks moment. Like I'm all about Blackbeard killing Shanks as like the final villain, But I was hoping Elbath is going to be that Shanks moment for Luffy, and I just feel like Shamrock being here means it's not going to be, and that just disappoints me, man. I wanted Shamrock, or I wanted Shanks and Luffy to interact this arc. That was my big thing. Elbath being this big moment for Luffy. It's been 20-something years, 27 years, man. I'm dying for it. I need it, man. I need it now, bro. I need Luffy's a Yonko now, And I'm worried about Shamrock taking that away, personally. But I don't know. The rest of the cast are really cool. I like the He had a weird fruit name. Actually, I wanted to go over that real quick. The dragon fella had a fucking strange fruit name. It was like what was it? I don't have my glasses on, so my reading's a bit shy. Where is it? Mythical dragon fruit model Olin. Dream materializing man. So or Quailin. So is Quailin? Let me Google that actually. Quailin. Oh, it is like a fucking beast joke from immediately Harry Potter shows up. A mythical beast native to China resembling a deer with golden bronze scales covering their back with ability creatures looking at the person's soul. Oh shit, alright, so that they're gonna create dreams that way. Oh, so it's him, is it? Oh, okay. They immediately kind of squashed that. It's definitely this guy making the dreams. Then, yeah, that makes perfect sense. I don't know. I think it'd be. He's personally my favorite right now out of the God Knights, just design wise. Uh, I do like how they take Luffy very seriously. I love that. That's my favorite thing about current day One Piece is that like everybody takes Luffy seriously. Like even Gunko was like, yes, the newly made emperor is on the island, and everyone's like, whoa, like they're ready to go. Do you know what I mean? And I like that a lot. I like how seriously everyone's taking Luffy because he is a serious. That's why he has such power and political power, and he's like, damn, we need to be careful. Do you know? But I mean, I don't know. And I don't know where this story is going. And I think that's making me excited. Like there's so many different options. That even just with the Briar stuff, there's like so many ways Oda could take it, right? And that just makes me super excited. On top, on top of the I don't know, man. I'm excited and worried, because I don't know if I'd like Oda to keep Loki away for ages. But I also feel like I didn't go over this earlier, but like Chopper needs something to do. He needs a character arc. I feel like I'm talking about this all the time, and I will talk about this till the day I die. Chopper should have healed the smile fruits. The fact he didn't was ridiculous. But you can retroactively sort that out, right? You can have it where it's like he goes and he's like, something's going on with the Giants, and he has to heal that, and he's like, I can't fail. You go, I can't fail another society. I can't fail another race. Like I have to do this. I failed the people of Wano. I have to be able to do this, and like that fuels him, or even in a way where he's like, I have not been able to achieve my dream. I need to be like reestablish his dream, this arc, through helping Loki, through helping the kids, and then have it be like, I need to go back and like fix all this stuff, and like I have not been, reestablish it, go back from ground one, preemptively go like, yeah, he didn't do this, he didn't do that, he needs to reestablish it, because sometimes you do, sometimes you need to restate your dreams, and like I think it would build up perfectly well with Luffy eventually getting sick, and then after that proclamation, this is his first big challenge after that when he cures the Elbatians of whatever this is, right? I think it'd be really cool. I think it'd be a really cool way to have Chopper do something cool, because we're all talking about this being Usopp's arc, and it's very clear Usopp's going to do some crazy shit. He might save the kids. It would make sense for him to be the one to save the kids. In fact, what we were talking about earlier about Loki saving the kids, right? What it could look like is Loki's going to save the kids. They all think he's going to attack the kids. And he's really damaged. Yeah. So as he goes to grab one of the kids to try and save them, Usopp attacks him because he's going to hurt the kids. But the Briars do so much damage that when Usopp attacks him, he falls to the ground. And then Usopp is known as like wow, he was able to defeat an ancient giant, And it's going to be some crazy tale of like proportion of crazy tales, right? Because we're going to have, I think those three characters would be an interesting way to frame it, because we got Robin's arc through this arc. We were getting her interacting with Saul, learning more about the Void Century, and we're going to get an Usopp arc. We've seen it develop. Usopp getting drunk is hella funny, by the way. That was in the previous chapters. But I do think Chopper could also have an arc. Every time someone gets injured, I'm like, time for Chopper to do something. Because he didn't save these people. He didn't save the smile disease. He didn't fix it. And I think he needs to address that. Because I know Oda was like, that's one of the things that really annoyed me. Like, because even I went back and I was watching Punk Hazard, and like the giant kids, like Chopper was devastated, man. He was working on it. He was trying to do something. He was devastated with Nami. Like there's a scene where him and Nami are just devastated about the kids, and they're trying to save the kids. You don't get that with Chopper anymore. You really don't, and it's the biggest disappointment. Because as I was saying to you in the last few episodes, I've been watching Drum Island again, and like, like that backstory is top tier. Like it really is, bro. Oh, Dr. Hairlook is the GOAT. Like realistically, man, absolutely crazy, absolutely crazy. So I need this stuff going. Because we got a really good arc for Sanji in Wano. We got a really good, like, obviously arc for Luffy. Luffy gets an arc every time. And then Nami's weird. Nami doesn't necessarily get an arc at all. She's just around a lot and does a lot. So I feel like she feels active in it. Like Whole Cake was big. She was around a lot. She was badass in Whole Cake. She was badass in Wano as well. She did a lot. Like I know a lot of people were like, damn, that fight with Ulti, she kind of, but like, it was a constant, you know what I mean? That fight was a constant. It was always going around. She was always doing something, whether it was getting her ass kicked or finally taking the final shot. She'd get involved in all the fights just by running away from them, you know? It was an interesting way. Even Usopp was there, although he wasn't given as many lines. It was cool. And I thought the moment with Kiku was a perfect way to be like, yeah, I'm not dying at the end of the series. Like everyone's talking about Usopp dying, but he basically said, yeah, fuck your ideals, whatever, man. It's important to live. You can be strong and still live, still run for your life, because what's important is you live to fight another day. And now obviously it was phrased way better, but that was really big for me. I loved that moment when it happened with Usopp, because I was like, yeah, this is cool. This is reinterpreting his dream. It's a nice way to go about it. And I wonder if it's going to happen here again. I don't know. I'm really interested about it. But the last thing I want to talk about when it comes to this chapter, I know I've been kind of jumping around and talking shit and all, but is the whole Dorian, Brogy, Hyruden, and Loki thing. Because obviously we have, the potential of them being dual kings at the end of this arc. But I do like how, like, we're having this brotherly dynamic brought in. But I like especially because Hyruden was obviously a bit, the older brother kind of, or not he was the younger brother, wasn't he? But they, like, you know what I mean? He kind of bullied Hyruden a tiny bit. But that stuck with him that stuck with him, and now he doesn't really trust them. But they've changed, and he's like, "Mate, you don't actually believe that, man. You know me, you're my brother." He's like, "You don't believe that shit. You know me, right?" So like, there's obviously a bit of doubt in Hyruden's mind, and I think it's gonna be interesting to see what he finds out, or if Luffy tries to persuade him. I don't know. I'm really looking forward to it though. I think that dynamic is gonna be really cool. It's just unfortunate they're not like of similar size. I think it's gonna be weird to have them standing side by side and like Harden's like half of his height, because like Loki's like a massive ancient giant, right? I don't know. I don't know how they're gonna go about it. They might imagine they have actually. What would be an interesting thing is the way to heal his damage is like making him less giant. It'd be a weird thing to do, but it'd be also interesting because there's a whole thing about the ancient giants and all this, right? And like King Harold taking out his horns. Man, also by the way, the one other thing, that silhouette of King Harold went so hard. Like it actually went crazy hard. Like man, I love it. I do. I'm just thinking there now because we were talking. I'm just going back and forth on everything, right? With the idea of them being weak to sun and lightning, like the fire and lightning, bro. And now versus Luffy again could destroy the island. That might be what it is. I'm just like spitballing, going back and forth, talking about it because it's just how it is, right? Ah, oh, man, I'm so excited for this. There's so many possibilities for this chapter or for this arc. There's loads to be going on about and thinking about. The whole revolutionary idea is really cool, but I have not put my stocks in the revolutionaries doing everything. I thought he was going to show up at Egghead and do something, since we had him talking to Vegapunk, all this stuff. So the fact he didn't, I don't have any dragon stocks in me anymore. I really don't. I'm going to be excited when he shows up, but I ain't placing bets. My only bet for this arc right now is that Chopper's going to do something and Enel's going to show back up. That's my only hope, realistically. But yeah, I don't know. I really don't know. That being said, I apologize for the scuffed nature of things. I've been very busy. I had a small procedure, so I had to have my foot elevated for a few weeks, and I couldn't really do anything. And then when I got back, I got to catch up on work. So it's unfortunate. But I'm back now, ideally, and we'll have these reviews. Hopefully better structured. I'm a bit all over the place. I tried to film this last night. I was tired, and I have something to do immediately after this, so unfortunate. But I hope you still enjoyed it. I'm going to try and be more structured, be a bit less all over the place. Have my phone on mute when I'm filming my videos at the very least, you know what I'm saying? And my glasses back. I don't know. The eye is a little wonky, man. It kind of looks like, you know what it looks like? It looks like this eye is like on a different level to this eye. It's kind of like this eye is slightly down. I don't know. It's weird. It is weird. Man, I wish I could wear contact lenses. But anyway, enough with that. Once again, I hope you enjoyed the chapter. Let me know what you thought in the chapter. And with that being said, I'll see you all next time. Cheers, everybody.